Welcome back to A Real Pain, the movie podcast where two generations clash it out to decide whether or not their movies deserve to be considered a classic or not. I'm Matthew, a Gen Zer.
And I'm Greg, a Mormon pastor from Utah.
I'm so scared right now. And today, I brought Bodies for John to watch for the very first time.
That's awesome. I was like, did we just have it? Because full disclosure, so if you're listening to the pod, Matthew turned off the lights and he turned on his flashlight on the phone, which this movie is just a giant advertisement for durable phones.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he shut the main lights off with the remote and then had that. And what scares us is sometimes the kids in the neighborhood flick the main power grid off because there's like a switch you can't lock for some reason on the back of our building.
Which, anyways, that's quite a big design flaw, but yeah. Anyways.
So what does this lever do?
Yeah, I think the most unrealistic thing about this movie is none of their phones die and having a flashlight on the whole time.
Yeah. We're going to get super nitpicky on this one, guys.
All right. So going in this movie, came out in 2022. Did you have any idea about it?
I didn't. None whatsoever. I might have seen a trailer for it, but I was never super into Pete Davidson. Like, oh, really? As an actor. Like, sure. I liked his stuff on Saturday Night Live and like a few of his stand-up clips. And like, it's not like I think I remember seeing maybe a trailer and being like, I don't know if this is for me. Cause it very much has like that college age vibe. And in 2022, I was just being a parent, being an actual adult. Yeah. And I probably saw the trailer and just thought like, when would I ever be able to watch this in the house?
Sure.
With everything. Cause Emily, my wife, does not care for any movies, even like resembling scariness. So like even 15 minutes into the movie last night, she's like, this is stupid. And I'm like, just
give it a chance.
And then I was like, can I just point out the fact that like every movie we've reviewed, 15 minutes into it, you say that.
It doesn't matter whose pick it is either.
Oh yeah, it's like Kindergarten Cop. This movie's stupid. And I'm like, it's Arnie.
Here's my theory. Does Emily just not like movies?
No, she likes like romance, happy endings, and then also just the trashiest real estate shows. Like the Selling Sunset and
oh no.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, really enjoy diners, drive-ins, and dives, so I don't know if I can comment.
That is not even anywhere near how bad. This is like, you slept with David. No, you slept with David.
A bunch of realtors are doing
that. It's like, it's not.
So it's real bad.
It's real bad.
I thought it was more like HGTV type of.
Yeah. Take your experience with working with realtors in the video industry.
And make it a TV show.
Make it a TV show. And then add way more stuff that you don't want to know.
Got it. Okay.
Yep. Just a quick disclaimer before we get into this podcast. Mom, if you're listening, this movie's not for you.
It's not meant for you.
So
that's okay.
You can still listen, but this is probably 2 thumbs down from my mom.
It's not a warning for her generation, I would say.
Yeah.
I realized after finishing the movie last night, I kind of did it a little bit of a disservice. I think I should have mentioned that it's also very satirical. And hopefully you kind of picked up on that.
I did, in the sense that Alice's character is played by Rachel Sennott. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Sennott.
Close enough. You get it.
Okay.
I'll give you a half point.
A half point. So seeing her in this movie, I thought this is maybe going to be along the lines of Bottoms. It wasn't quite as satirical, I would say, as that, but overall, like, and with the history of like my scary movies of like that I grew up on, like Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, those kinds of things. I just like the entirety of the movie, and I know you need to get in this synopsis.
Yeah.
I was comparing it to those movies.
Yeah, and it's not satirizing scary movies. it's satirizing something else, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But yeah, so real quick. So if you haven't seen the movie, which you definitely should, because we're going to get into some major spoilers, because I think later on you can't really explain the whole theme without kind of explaining the ending.
Right.
Okay, so real quick spoiler-free synopsis. So this couple, Sophie and B, are going to a hurricane house party at their very rich friend's house. David, which I thought that was funny because his name is Pete Davidson. So that was kind of a
little cheat.
little cheat.
I would just assume when they filmed this movie, he was on all the drugs that they do in the movie. So maybe that they did that to
hook help him out.
Yeah.
Like, your name is just your last name.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so they go to this house party and everybody else there's like super rich, super Gen Z coded. And they're like having a party. They're going a little crazy. There's like drugs and stuff there. And at one point, they're playing a game, which is basically murder in the dark, but called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And then the lights shut off. We find out David looks like he got murdered, and everything just unravels from there because they are not the best of friends.
All right, so this movie came out in 2022. Where was a young Matthew? Probably, can I take a guess?
Yeah, take a stab at it.
Because you've been with Storyline Multimedia, your one-stop shop for all your media needs, for 3 years.
Yep.
So would you have been doing an internship for Estella's Fresh Mix?
Not yet, actually. So this came out 2022. So that was still the beginning of my senior year. I didn't start doing internship with Estella's till very early 23.
Got it.
Which is how I found these guys. Anyways, so
yeah.
So I was still in college, and this was such funny timing because my apartment in college had a pretty big basement. Okay. And so me and my buddies in college would play Murder in the Dark all the time down there. So I just thought it was such a cool premise that they took that game and then turned it into like an actual movie. I was like, this is freaking sweet.
Okay. Pretty, that's really unique. I like that.
Thank you.
So full disclosure, just watching it on this time, I didn't know what it was going to be. So there was like moments where I'm like, is this going to be like a zombie movie? So the fact that it was what it was a complete surprise to me.
Okay.
And just because like, and I knew obviously things were going to happen that involved death because of the title, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. But when Emma gets out of the car and leaves the little visor, like right when they pull up to the house.
Sorry, that's B.
That's what I said.
You said Emma.
No, I didn't.
You said Emma.
No, I didn't. Play it back. Screenshot.
I didn't say podcast twice.
So when B gets out of the car, why did you put her name so low on the list? She's like the main character.
Hey, well, I didn't write this, pal.
Who wrote it?
So when B gets out of the car, she leaves the light on. And as a dad who has kids do that crap all the time, I'm like, oh yeah, that car's dead.
That's dead for sure, which is a very big pivotal plot point later on.
Also, one notable thing about just a little callback, besides like the huge makeout scene in the beginning, this kind of opened up like Death of a Unicorn.
In what way?
The driving scene.
They're driving
through the mountains.
You're figuring out, like you're hearing the backstory, and then they pull up to the mansion. I made a note and then did no fact checking of like, oh, I wonder if that's the same mansion. They
all
filmed
look
at
the same.
Yeah.
Those McMansions. Yeah. So I apologized to you guys last night. I was like, I'm sorry. I forgot it started this way. But the more I start about it, I was like, honestly, I'm not sorry because one of your movies started out with straight nudity. I was like, I'm not sorry anymore.
Well, that's why I jokingly opened up as a Mormon pastor in the beginning, is because I'm like, you got to be careful, buddy, who you're referring this movie to.
That's true. You got to be. It's for a certain generation for sure. But I think it's a warning. We'll get into it. That can be across generations.
Yeah.
All right. Before we get too off the rails, do we want to do favorite scenes?
Yes.
All right, John, I think your favorite scene, this is towards the end. There's only 4 girls left: Bea, Sophie, Rachel Sennett's character, and Jordan. And this is the point where they really start arguing with each other. And this particular part I thought was your favorite was when they're making fun of her podcast. And she's like, podcasts are really hard to do. They're hard to make. And I think you thought that was hilarious.
So it is in my top 5 for sure.
Yes.
So I thought that was hilarious. I also thought the whole scene where they were like, how long? Like 2 weeks. Like that whole scene.
Oh, how long has she known Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she keeps saying like, oh, I've known him for a super long time. It's like the longest time. It's felt like forever. And then it turns out to be like 2 weeks. It's just so good. But I kind of assumed that our favorite scene was going to be the reveal.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So spoiler warning.
This is major spoiler territory. So Pete Davidson's character dies in the beginning, and then it just catapults into this just mass chaos where people are killing each other and everybody's freaking out.
Because they think somebody else is the murderer, and then one minute they think somebody else is the murderer.
Yeah. So then at the end, they find Pete Davidson's phone and they watch a video where he was just simply trying to open a champagne bottle with a machete.
Yep, just like Greg did in the beginning.
Yes,
Yep.
and then accidentally like cut his own throat. I'm like, this is amazing.
Okay, I'm glad you like the ending because I know some people don't, but I think it does play into the theme of the movie.
No, this is why I loved it, was because the entirety of the movie, so like 7/8 of this movie, I'm like, this is entertaining, but I've seen this movie before.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So then for that reveal, I'm like, this just catapulted it by a ton of points.
Okay, let's go.
So,
and then,
which we haven't gotten into our initial ratings, by the way.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yep. Okay.
We're just having such a good time.
We're just rolling with it. Here's my score.
John's initial rating is an 8.
Okay, this is mine. John's closing his eyes. Gotta close them. Okay, here we go.
Matthew's initial rating is an 8.5.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm locked in.
Okay.
Sorry about that, folks.
Okay, just a quick detour on that. But back to what we were talking about. So my favorite scene is actually the twist coupled with the fact that Connor O'Malley is in this movie.
Dude, the whole time I was watching this movie, because Rachel also forgot who was Max the whole time. And we also watch I Think You Should Leave and Joe Pera Talks With You. And we love Connor O'Malley.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't wait for you to see who this is.
I wish he would have been in the movie more.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it was a cool little cameo either way.
Yeah. And so that was my favorite scene.
Yeah, I think watching it back now, it's so funny thinking about every time they mention Max, it's like, oh, they're talking about Connor O'Malley.
Yeah.
It's just fun watching it back.
So I'm going to guess your favorite scene.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I think your favorite scene is, I'm going to guess it's the twist. I thought that's kind of what the note I made was like, that this is it.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to guess is your second favorite scene.
Okay.
Because is that your favorite scene?
Yeah, I think knowing that that's what's going on the whole entire time, like elevated this movie for sure.
Yes. I think that I'm going to guess this wrong, but I think that you enjoyed like how this movie, they did the music.
I did really enjoy the music. Tabby can attest. I've been humming it all day
okay.
long.
Yeah.
So not only was it music like written for the movie, but also like one of the things I wrote down was that they like most of the scary movies I've seen, or at least the way I remember them, is like it relies heavily on the music.
Yeah.
For like the scare, like to
the
build
jump
this.
scare type. Yeah.
There was not a ton of that. It was mostly like the sounds of the storm, which I'm like, this is almost better to me, especially since like we've grown up in the Midwest and we've been, a part of like many a storm, I would say.
For sure.
So like the fact that they really tapped into that, I think is maybe your favorite part is the sound design.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a top contender for sure. The music is definitely more atmospheric, I would say, kind of akin to Backrooms that just came out.
Yeah.
It was never used to scare you, it was to make you feel like just like you're actually in the environment, which I really appreciated. Because I think, Tabby, you had mentioned that the music, like, you didn't even really notice it until I pointed it out because it just felt
so natural,
like, ingrained to the movie.
Yeah. That's how I know a movie's soundtrack is really good if I don't notice it. If I notice it, it's always mostly because I'm annoyed by it.
Well, yeah, and the Mormon pastor inside me didn't agree with a lot of the lyrics, but as a human being, I loved it.
For sure. Yeah, I forgot about the soundtrack in this movie too.
Yeah, just the soundtrack alone is rated R.
That's what they would be listening to for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I think my other favorite scene, it's right after David gets murdered. And so the first person I think that did it is Greg, because they were kind of having a tiff, which, can I say, when David kind of steps to Greg and then Greg stands up and kind of towers over him a little bit, dude, Greg is a beast.
Yeah, kindergarten cop vibes.
Yeah, for sure. And then he just goes, you know what? I think it's time for me to go to bed. And then just walks away.
So here's the note I made about Greg. So obviously, like, you just said something like really badass about him. I'm not piggybacking off of that comment.
Okay.
This is in the beginning of the movie when all the young people show up and then he's in the pool just chilling. This is the thought I had was, I'm like, is this like Coming to Work? And like, I'm Greg.
You're the Greg.
I'm the Greg.
You're the Greg.
Just like, what's this old geezer doing here? When you guys bring your partners to the office and they're like, who is that in the pool?
Hey, sup, I'm Greg. That was one of my favorite lines in the movie.
But I would for sure try to open a champagne bottle with a machete.
And he could do it with style.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyways, so after David dies, they think, okay, well, obviously it's Greg because nobody else knows him. Rachel Sennett's character at one point is like, I mean, I've known him for like 2 weeks, barely knows this guy.
Yeah.
And so they try and find him. He's not in his room, but they find his backpack, which has like a bunch of survival stuff in it. Their house is circled on a map. So then they're like, yeah, it's clearly this Greg guy. They can't find him, but eventually they get into this gym room and it's all lit like with red lights and he has this creepy sleep mask on.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked so cool.
So speaking of the gym, that leads me into, can I guess your least favorite scene?
Yeah. What do you think it was?
I think that it was in the gym. And I think it's when things just become unraveled and everybody starts like arguing with each other. And then B ends up unaliving Greg.
See, I hated it because I did enjoy Greg. I thought he was just such a cool character. And then you also later find out that he wasn't a war vet. He was just a veterinarian.
An assistant.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts too.
No, honestly, I had a hard time choosing like a least favorite scene. I think one thing, and I kind of get this from my dad because he would point this out in movies all the time. When someone has a pistol, there's not a lot of bullets in there.
Okay.
And at one point, Jordan...
It's usually about 15.
Sure. Jordan has a pistol.
America.
And they're shooting this off quite a bit.
Sure.
I'm like, I think she would have run out of bullets by now.
Did you count them?
I didn't count them. I guess I could have done that.
Tab, this is how close I thought it was because I think it's roughly 15. I don't know if she had the extended mag or not. I play a little Call of Duty, and
I mean they were a pretty rich family, so maybe she did.
And well, it was funny in the movie too because they're like, my dad doesn't have a gun, and I'm like, dude, everybody has a gun. If you're in America, you have a gun. Hit the like button if you own a gun.
And hit subscribe while you're at it.
And hit subscribe if you have a magazine that holds over 15 bullets.
For a pistol.
So I think your least favorite scene was at the very, very, very end of the movie, because I felt like this was really the only cliche-esque thing that didn't really work for me. But it's when Max comes in, he's like, what's going on? And then it kind of pans to B and Sophie. They start getting text messages and she just goes, I have reception. And that's it.
I didn't mind it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What was your least favorite scene then?
Matthew, I think I'm about to blow you and Tabby's minds.
Really?
I didn't have a least favorite scene.
Okay.
Mind blown.
That is crazy, because Tabby and I were also talking about this earlier today. We were like, there's either two routes this is going to go. John either really, really liked it, or just
Did you hear that Donald Trump voice in?
He really, really liked it, or he really hated it.
Yep.
So that makes me feel good.
I mean, there wasn't really anything that took me out of the movie. I will say this. So you said this earlier that the ending divided the audience a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would have hated it if it didn't have that ending.
That completely makes sense. Yeah.
Just because, again, like I said before, I've seen this style of movie before, so I needed something to what's the big deal?
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So
no, and I think so. I'm going to kind of go into why I think this movie is so cool and what makes it different than other slasher / satirical movies. Is you had mentioned Scream, and that was a satire against horror movies as a genre.
Yep.
This was a satire of just Gen Z culture as a whole.
Okay, I can see that.
And so the whole thing is, once these quote unquote friends lose access to the internet and stuff, they don't know how to truly interact with each other. And they are so self-absorbed that, of course, they think everybody else is the killer. But it truly hinges on the fact that David hated this Greg guy so much. He's like, yeah, I can do this machete thing that he did, gets himself killed, and then it just completely unravels from there. And I just thought that was such a cool message.
I didn't look into it that much. So I'm just saying when I was watching it, I'm
Sure.
like, oh, because I'm going to be honest, I don't understand your generation.
It's a wild ride.
Yeah, but I guess growing up on phones, that totally makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because I think future generations, this is kind of a warning that if you spend too much time on the internet, it is, some parts are pretty good, but some parts can be so hurtful and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what can happen to you if you don't actually talk with people and just think that my point of view is the only true point of view. You're obviously the killer.
Gotcha. It's interesting because I pretended to be a pastor on the pod today. And then you're the one that took us to church just now.
I don't know what that was, but
no, that's a great message.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other big things that you really enjoyed about this movie?
I mean, there was a couple things that I guessed a little bit. Early on in the movie, that it's going to be the machete is going to be the murder weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think also I made a joke about it earlier, the lighting, them using the lighting on the phone was so clutch.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I don't think phones do this, so maybe they just did it for the movie. But when B is running around the house and she has her flashlight on, the screen is also white.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's illuminating her face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is guerrilla filmmaking, if anything.
No, 100%. I thought it was such a cool, different way to film lighting in a movie. I don't know if anybody else has really done that, where it's just either being backlit from their phone and then also using the flashlights, but also again kind of plays into the message where their phones are kind of acting as their guiding light throughout the movie because they're so attached to them.
Yeah.
And then also as they're all separated, that mansion is kind of a metaphor for the internet, just how isolating it can be.
Interesting. We're getting some deep cuts today.
Yeah.
I will say though, I did notice that when they all go out to the car, a lot of them had flashlights.
Oh, like regular flashlights?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I was like, so I made this note. Wow, this is really cool that they did all this lighting with the phone flashlights. Then all of them have flashlights.
I didn't even catch that.
And then when they're back in the house, they have their
go
phones
back to
again.
phones?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I would assume that that's because they had to light the scene that way, and they needed a little bit more than what the phones could put out. So
yeah. No, that makes sense.
And everybody had a waterproof phone.
Wow. For real.
Yeah, I put, wow, it's waterproof and mudproof.
I mean, if you got an iPhone, I mean,
are they waterproof?
Yeah.
I'm too nervous to try it.
I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
That's what Apple says. That's what Tim Cook says.
Matthew's tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tried it too many times.
Yeah. Yeah, you fight in the mud a lot.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started on the mud fights.
No, another scene that obviously made sense of to why they did it, but also made me just really not like these characters. So at one point, B has to change because she just like killed someone and she kind of threw up a little bit. So she changes into a sweatshirt and she also put makeup on. And then Jordan goes, "Did you put makeup on? You look weird." And then they all push her out because they think she's the murderer. That made me so sad for B.
It made me sad that they pushed her out, but I was also so confused by the makeup thing. However, because I've been enlightened with your take on the movie, kind of actually makes sense.
Well, yeah, because everybody else in that movie is like super rich, but she obviously is
the outsider.
Well, and she's like, but I mean, going off of your metaphor, it's like the craziest thing is happening and she's still trying to look
because she's
perfect,
still trying to
like presentable, you know,
impress these people, which I think is what most people try and do on the internet, is impress everybody else. Yeah.
Which explains the bread she brought at the beginning of the movie.
And also why she opens the mirror and like kind of does that smile. She's making sure it looks good for everybody else.
Only for them to say it was weird.
Yep.
She was coming in with the bread.
Yeah. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so. I'm glad you actually, because I feel like if you just watch it at like a very surface level, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of like dumb Gen Z kids just being stupid.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little more than that. And I think that's why I really appreciate this movie.
Okay. Well, I think we should get into our final numbers as Tabby reads off.
Yeah.
Tabby's fun facts.
Yeah, let's go.
Fun facts. So, I'm glad you guys have mentioned the ending so many times, because the original draft of this movie actually had an actual killer show up. But then the director, Halina Rain, I hope I'm saying the name correct, she opted for the focus of the film to be just like on psychology and just like human behavior. And so the production team came up with this alternative ending where he killed himself on TikTok.
I'm so glad they did that.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. So that was a change.
Yeah, because I feel like if there was a natural killer, then like some of their actions would have been more justified, and that would have kind of ruined it for me, honestly.
Yeah. I preferred the ending too. It'd have been like, we've seen this before.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Also, Lee Pace actually gave Pete Davidson exclusive permission to slap him real hard during the tequila game.
Okay.
It was like, you may use as much violence as you need. So that was an actual punch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I remembered that Lee Pace was in this movie, I got really excited because I was like, oh, John's going to love this because he's in the Lord of the Rings.
And
he's not. He's only in The Hobbit. I forgot about that.
Oh,
but
I mean, he did. Yeah, he did look familiar. So,
yep, he plays a wood elf. So,
speaking of, he actually practiced the sword thing with his prop sword from The Hobbit.
No way! That's so cool.
Awesome.
That's so fun.
Also, the opening scene, the original cut was minutes long. The kissing scene. It only lasted 30 seconds in the movie, but the original assembly was minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. For the opening scene, today on this episode, when Matthew was like, "You want to guess my favorite scene?" I was like, I almost went, "You know." You know what it was.
No, I don't. I will say that also, like, because you also find out at one point that Sophie basically cheated on B with Jordan. And I feel like a lot of these characters are in relationships that they really don't want to be in. They just want that attention.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're in like a really healthy relationship, you don't really kiss like that. That's like you're just here for the attention type thing.
Let us know in the comments.
That's
how do you kiss?
And I think to put the cherry on
you better
top.
not cut that out.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
To put the cherry on top is when Emma tells B that she loves her, and we find out it's only been 6 weeks they've been dating. So we're like, oh, okay.
Which is basically 2 weeks, like what they were doing with
for
Greg.
real.
Also, the lighting. So in the movie, they're relying heavily on diegetic light sources. So the cinematographer, his name is Jasper Wolf, was instructing the actors on how to use their cell phones and their lighting, because if they missed their mark, that take was unusable. It would be completely dark. Shoot. So every single part was like extremely crucial. Also, he had his own torch next to the camera in some of the scenes, but you can't see it. But he just carry a flashlight.
Oh, that's
next to the camera.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know if they like actually truly use phone lights? Oh,
yes,
okay.
they did,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they would have like had to put something on top of it so it was had produced more light. That's really surprising.
At least from IMDb, they say, they were just relying on the cell phones, headlamps, and glow tubes.
Hey, that's so cool.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah. Also, another fun fact is the way each character has the light sources on them, like B on the hips, just hanging from her body, means like she's like, and her hands are free. She's more caregiving. And then we have Jordan having the
headlamp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kind of like different. And Emma just like dives headfirst with no light source because she had no light source. Was she carrying a light source? Do you guys remember?
I don't think she did.
Yeah.
But I did make a note that Alice had like she was wearing the glow sticks all the time.
Yeah. Because she wants to get validation from everyone around her. At least that's what they said.
Dang.
Were you expecting to delve this deep into
No, not at all.
Slasher movie?
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
No way he's erasing.
I'm erasing it.
Oh my gosh.
Tabby.
Tabby.
Is this the first time a
10?
fun fact has changed a rating?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go, Tabby.
Way to go, Tabby.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, let's
3,
go.
2, 1.
Whoa!
We both ended at a 9. Twice in a row we've ended at the same number.
Okay. So here's can I explain this a little bit from a millennial perspective on my score?
Absolutely.
Here's why I started off at an 8 and then went to a 9. I don't know if you know this or not, but I can't remember what movie I gave it, but at one point I said an 8 is the highest you can go. Like it could be the perfect movie, but I'm only going to watch it once. So that's the baseline.
I think you gave There Will Be Blood a 9 because it was like absolutely peak.
Maybe it was 9.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I thought it was an 8 or a 9, but that was my thought going into this was like, okay, really great movie. I don't know if I'm going to watch it again. Then you bumped it up to an 8.5. And then your fun facts bumped it up to a 9 because now I'm like, I actually really want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, it is really fun watching it knowing.
Yeah, because that's what brought me up to an 8.5 was I thought, oh, now I got to watch it again now that you know that Pete Davidson's character accidentally kills himself. And then 9 because you're pointing out all these things they did with the lighting and the characters. I'm like, no, I got to see that.
Yeah. No, it's just... I don't know. It's such a fun movie because there's also truly no like reliable narrators either. You're kind of watching it from a bird's eye view because at first you think, B is like a perfectly good character, but then at one point you're like, did she actually kill somebody? I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's just a fun movie.
Absolutely. All right. So, sorry guys. I said, hey, remember, but this is good because I said it. And now I'm being more aware of.
We're doing the little rubber band.
Yeah, just abuse ourselves slightly. All right. Well, I am super excited for next week's episode. We are going to watch Fight Club.
Fight Club. Okay.
With Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. This would have been, I would have been in 9th grade when this came out.
Whoa, this feels like a 9th grade movie.
And some of the kids at my high school started a fight club. So we'll reminisce about some of those stories.
That's so fun. I hope I like it because I've heard a lot about this movie.
Yes, it's here's why I picked it. It's very similar, I think, to how we came into this episode where you were like, yeah, Tabby and I, we guessed like you were either going to like really love it or really hate it.
Okay.
This is definitely one of those movies.
Interesting. I thought everybody just kind of loved it.
I think any guy that was in high school in the 90s liked it, but I don't know what it does. Like, I don't know rewatching it in 2026, what that does.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does.
Now I'm really pumped to watch this.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's all I got. Just in case you haven't, you want to hit the subscribe button because we actually have some really fun guests coming up and we're going to release those as bonus episodes. So it's,
and you do not want to miss those.
Yeah. We've had a ton of interactions with some of the comments, of people that have worked on certain movies. And so they're going to be guests on the pod. So let's go.
So exciting.
So, well, until next time.
It's been a real pain.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode was brought to you by Storyline Multimedia, and special thanks to Matthew Purcell for making and producing our theme song.